What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's get into it, man. These are the top 5 engineers in hip hop history. I think these are the top 5 in hip hop history. It's a lot of honorable mentions here. I can't remember the guy's name who worked with DJ Quik and Dre on All Eyes on Me, but he's definitely in the honorable mentions bracket. It's just that he comes from mostly non-hip hop roots, to include him in this. So let's get it started. Number 5, we have Dr. Dre. And a lot of people are going to be shocked that I got Dr. Dre at number 5 for engineering. Engineering, I think he's great. He has a certain ear for it. I think he's improved dramatically over the years where a lot of people haven't really noticed his work. But Dre hasn't really been doing too much, but with the stuff he does, you could tell the difference from the sound point, and that comes from engineering, knowing where certain elements of music comes in at, and it heightens the sound of the vocals. And definitely, Dr. Dre's past work has been it's been decent, but I think he's gotten better and improved with the involvement of sound. I think he's only gotten better. Number 4, I would say, is Duro. Duro is a good engineer. He worked with a lot of hip hop artists back in the day, and see, hip hop artists, they just needed an engineer. They could care less about certain sounds, and Duro was the one that was more versatile, I would say, in the game, and introducing most of the young kids who knew about music but didn't know how to engineer, getting them started. He would be like your engineer teacher to become a good engineer or a great engineer. So in hip hop, definitely I'll say he's number 4 on the list, and there's nothing wrong with him being number 4. He's done songs with Jay-Z. Matter of fact, he's trained Young Guru, if I'm not mistaken. So, in honorable mentions to Young Guru, because he is not on this list. And everybody probably will freak out because Young Guru is probably the most famous engineer out of all of them, because he actually gets mentioned a lot on songs. But definitely, pay attention to them. Number 3, we have Tony Maserati. Tony Maserati is definitely one of the biggest names in 90s hip hop history. Just think about Biggie, Mary J. Blige, even Black Eyed Peas. He did some Madonna songs with pop. He's done pretty much everything in the hip hop elements as far as like hip hop R&B-ish. But listen to his sound style to be able to balance certain levels of drums, and knowing how to put in certain sounds that doesn't necessarily would go with hip hop. Because hip hop is basically the drum. Everything created is normally off of the drum. But to know how to use certain drums, bring in certain snares, certain horn, the right precision to know when to bring in certain elements. I think Tony Maserati is very good at that. And the thing is, you don't interfere. The lyrics, you don't interfere with the words. It's like a simian circle where they all work together. And that's where number 2 works at, DJ Quik. Very underrated as an engineer, which he's probably a better engineer than he is a rapper. Matter of fact, he is a better engineer than he is a rapper. He started off as a DJ. That's why his name was DJ Quik. Very quick on the cue. And the thing is, Quik scratching and everything else, but he's also into all different type of records and sounds from all the old days and how to blend his sounds together. And the thing is, he learned from some of the best. So over the years, see, you don't become a master engineer over a year or two. You would need 10 years in the game before you become a master engineer. And you can only learn from another master engineer. If you don't meet another master engineer in your lifetime, you will always be a good or a great engineer, but never a master. And he has been with the best engineers in the world. And I mean the world. And I think that he deserves his proper accolades here. Because in my opinion, he's one of the most unheld like percussion from Tony to, I mean, from going from different ranges of sound. I think his smooth sounds, and then he can make a hard sound record and use live instruments instead of samples. That's a true example of an engineer at work. And to be able to rap actually was a bonus, because most engineers don't rap. He can go in there, write words, get in there and drop the lines, and it is what it is. And I want to give some honorable shouts out to people that's going to be on the list real soon. Young Guru headlines that list. The guy, what's his name? Derek Ali. Derek Ali is probably going to be one of the best engineers in the world soon. Why? Because he's crazy. Okay? He's crazy and obsessed with sound. But the guy who's probably number 6 on this list, if we were doing a top 10, is a guy named Jason Joshua. Jason Joshua already got like 3-4 Grammys for his sound that he does. I mean, he's very smart when it comes to his music and sounds. He can work with any equipment in the world and make it work, like high tech. Jason Joshua is probably, hands down, one of the best hip-hop engineers too. He's probably tied with Dre. I would definitely put him up there with Dre. Probably would have edged Dre out of the picture. And I mean, we got Manny Macaron, Leslie Breathwaite's on his way. I mean, there's so many great like engineers that nobody would even know who they were. That's the thing about it when it comes to engineering. You know, when you say names like Tarsla and all these guys, they normally did engineering work for different sounds of different types of music back in the old days. Because in those old days, even though they were engineering, there was certain like soul sounds, like the Delphonics. That's what Tarsla thing, you know. That smooth urban sound, he had an ear for it. And when you have an ear for that, you can make magic happen. Like Clear Mountain, you know, he was known back in the days for his work, you know, and like R&B, you know, even though he had a good sounding name, Clear Mountain, he was an engineer. But anyway, number 1 is on the list is David Pasado. Pasado is, you probably see him on YouTube, Pasado's Corner and everything, so you guys are probably all familiar with him by then, but Pasado is that dude, you know, so definitely look him up. And everybody, he teaches everybody on YouTube everything about engineering, but this guy has mastered the sound, and he taught Jason Joshua actually, and he's one of the guys who mastered the sound of engineering. You know, and I think he got Pasado's Corner or Pasado's Place or something like that. Listen to how he structures music, and then you'll have a better appreciation for some of the songs that are made when you start hearing them differently. But when you're young and you're listening to rap, you just listen to the words and the beat. You're not noticing all the other sounds in there that make you like the song. That's what I was talking about before when I was saying how All Eyes on Me was probably the best engineered album of all time because of the sound. So, anyway, I'm out. I'm going to get out of here. I took up a lot of y'all time. So, we're going to have more hip-hop top 5s coming up. Keep making your suggestions for top 5s. I'll look at them. I might put them out. I'm out.